It's one of the greenest countries on Earth, an El Dorado of river and forest where the possibilities seem endless. Suriname in the Amazon is one of the last frontiers and a land of illegal gold panners. For nature lovers, this little country is a gold mine of biodiversity in the image of its extremely mixed population. In the heart of the Amazon, pirogue or airplane are the only ways to plunge deep into this endless forest tinged with adventure.
The Amazon is a boundless universe. It never ends. There is always something further ahead. You advance and it keeps on going.
Fabian Vas is a Boeroe, a white descendant of Suriname's original Dutch colonists. He has decided to capture the beauty of his little-known country.
My job is traveling the length and breadth of Suriname to fix the country's most beautiful sights on film. Foreigners don't even know where Suriname is. It's located on the northern coast of South America, between Guyana, French Guiana, and Brazil. Traveling in Suriname is always an expedition. The infrastructure is poor and there are hardly any roads. You have to use the rivers to get around. That's why traveling here is always full of surprises. And it makes the country interesting. This is a land of adventure.
Fabian loves the wilderness and exploring unknown territories, photography, and the people he meets in his life. He has made a name for himself in this little country, flanked by the Amazon on one side and the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean on the other.
When you're a stranger and you enter a village, the most important thing to do is be respectful. Before I start shooting in the village, I have to go see the chief. I have to thank him for allowing me to photograph the village and the villagers. You have to respect the people. Explain to them exactly what you're going to do and be polite. It's normal. You're on their territory.
For Fabian, his adventure in photography is like a rebirth. In a few months, he'll be publishing his work, 12 photos to the glory of Suriname. His photo reportage begins with the Amerindian fishermen of Galibi, then plunges into the limitless forest, where the young photographer's life nearly hit bottom.
I was panning for gold out in the forest for 3 years. I needed money. It was a great experience, but I was always in danger. It was really quite something. I wouldn't sleep. I'd be there in my hammock, afraid of being attacked. I was living in an encampment, in a tent, a canvas tarp that could be set up very quickly, and just a plastic sheet to protect me from the wind and rain. That was my shelter. Everything was dirty, polluted. I was eating poorly, drinking bad water. It was really not a healthy life. One day, there was a police raid. When the police came into the camp, I grabbed all my stuff, my papers, and ran off into the forest. I was in such a bad state that I broke down and cried. That was a decisive moment. I knew I couldn't go on with that way of life. I was afraid the police would catch me and lock me away. That's when I realized that it just wasn't worth the trouble. It was momentous, a staggering moment, even now when I think back on it.
Het was een heel erg emotioneel moment, ook nu als ik eraan denk.
Gaseous in the brown earth, polluted with mercury. This is the El Dorado of the illegal gold panners. Fabian is a born-again ecologist who's now paying off his debt to nature. When I look back on my life before, what I did then, and what I'm doing now, I feel good. I'm a better person and feel better about my life. I've done some shady things in the past. Now, with my photography, it's a whole new ballgame. I'm out in the forest, in the middle of the trees and the people. It's just all positive energy. I feel it's my place. Fabian is traveling up the Suriname River, one of the main arteries into the interior. It hasn't rained in weeks. Bad news for the boatmen. In the dry season, the inland villages are even more isolated from the rest of the world by the rapids.
I love traveling like this, with no roads to get from one point to another. When you leave the city, you have to drive on dirt tracks. Then you have to take a pirogue for several hours and cross the rapids. When the river's low, you have to push the pirogue, help the boatmen through the rapids. Sometimes you even have to carry the pirogue when it's really low.
Dat is vooral bij laag water. Dit is het gebied van de Marons.
This is the land of the Maroons, the descendants of slaves that ran away from the plantations more than 200 years ago during the colonial period. The Maroons learned a lot from the Indians about surviving and adapting here. Now, they have their own way of life.
Beter kunnen ontwikkelen.
This is a traditional gateway designed to ward off evil spirits. There must be a village close by.
Het is waarschijnlijk een dorpje hier zo, waar ik iemand moet ontmoeten.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I'm looking for the person who makes pirogues.
You have to go back towards the river.
Is it far?
Ay. Ay, bugo chari amo niko.
Hello.
Ai, man. Ai. Ik hoorde dat er iemand in het dorp zei...
They told me that there was a boat builder here.
Dus het is... Ja, ben je dat?
Yes, right here. It's me.
Ik ben voor mijn werk hier om het...
I'm a photographer.
En ik wil
Would it
vragen
be
of ik wat
okay
foto's
if
kan
I
maken
take
hoe je
some
bezig
pictures?
bent te werken.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Oké. Na dit proces, zo dat je bezig
What's
bent,
the next
zo is
stage
het,
in the construction?
volgende proces.
Well, once I've finished hollowing out the trunk, I'm going to burn it, heat it up gently, and then I'll lay some palm fronds underneath it, then light them. After that, I have to wedge it open to give the pirogue its shape. And when that step is finished, I let it sit out for a day or two, and then I'm going to fasten the planks right here to the sides. You can't find pirogues like this just anywhere. Only in the north of Suriname, in the region of the Saramaka tribes. People here don't have cars. The only way to ship things around is by boat. Anything that we have to transport goes by pirogue. That's why the villages are so close to the riverbanks.
Mijn leven voorheen...
Before, the gold prospecting was my whole life. I hunted to eat, and I destroyed nature in the gold panning camps. Back then, I was a polluter. I didn't realize what nature could offer me. The Amazon is a boundless universe. It never ends. There is always something further ahead. You advance, and it keeps on going.
Brokopondo Lake, a vast reservoir of fresh water, is an otherworldly landscape, a parcel of the sunken Amazon. In the 1960s, they built a dam on the Suriname River to provide electricity to the capital, Paramaribo, the bauxite mines, and in particular, an aluminum factory.
Those are islands over there. They used to be hills. You have to imagine that this used to be a mountainous tropical landscape. With the dam, the water rose and submerged everything in the valleys, and the hills became islands. It's very mysterious, the trees underwater here. This has been a sunken forest for more than 60 years.
Nature has stood still here in Brokopondo. When the tropical forest was submerged beneath fathoms of water, no one imagined that they were, in fact, sinking a treasure. Fabian has come to meet the men who are mining the rich vein of Brokopondo, a handful of intrepid Brazilians, all top-notch lumberjacks.
If the water's clear, it's good. We can work. We can see what we're doing, but if it's murky, it gets tricky. Often, when you're down at the bottom and you're a little tired, your mind begins to drift, you get distracted. This is not good. You have to stay focused on your work and on the machine, because if you let your mind wander, you could lose an arm, you could lose a leg.
The treasure of Brokopondo is down at the bottom of the lake. Mahogany, angelique, amaranth, millions of cubic meters of precious, rare woods of the Amazon.
As a general rule, logging trees here is not good for nature. But in this lake, you can just serve yourself. All the trees are dead. The tropical forest is as old as the world. We have to protect it. But here, the wood has been underwater for a long time.
It's not your ordinary lumberjack who can work in these extreme conditions. He has to handle the chainsaw underwater while breathing through an air hose connected to the compressor. Tamu, the Brazilian, has arrived at the base of the tree, 20 meters down. The long immersion in the water has made the wood rot-proof and of a very high quality, as hard as rock, which makes it so valuable. The lumber from Brokopondo is some of the world's most expensive wood. The lumberjacks have worked for the next 20 years, logging the sunken treasure of the Amazon.
I'm an adventurer. I love going into the forest, being there. I really enjoy it. It makes me happy. Adventure, adventure, and more adventure.
When I was young, there was the series Flying Doctors. I think it's a very old series from the 70s or the 80s. The nurses or the doctors take a plane to save the patients. And we always watched that series. And I already knew I wanted to become a doctor. I always wanted to become a doctor. My father is a doctor. And I really like the series. So now it's like Flying Doctor. And I think this is pretty close to my dream. I'm the Flying Doctor. ACT, Ronnie. I deliver everything. The post, sometimes rice for the people who work here. But now we don't have, but yeah, we take everything.
For the tribes of the Amazon, the doctor always arrives by air and never empty-handed.
Water is lager.
Rosanne Percher, 35, is Suriname's only flying doctor. She works for Medische Zending, a medical and humanitarian mission. She crisscrosses the Amazon by plane, helping the communities isolated in the vast tropical forest.
Well, I did my specialization in tropical medicine, and for that I went to Ethiopia. And I always loved traveling, so I've been to many countries in Africa. And I've been to India for a long time.
Rosanne has always preferred field medicine to a comfortable consulting room in Amsterdam. This is her profession and her passion, and it has made her a kindly, generous person. Rosanne visits the village of Apetina on the shores of the Tapahoni River at least once a month. The village practical nurse is there to greet her.
Helpt nooit als hij mij ziet, toch? Oh, toch wel, toch wel.
When a child has an attack, I treat him with a vaporizer. Now, the parents have to know how to do it too.
He doesn't like doctor. He's been in the hospital too long. He doesn't like doctor. He went to the city by emergency. He's very ill. And now he came back, and luckily he's healthy again. But we see him every time we come here to check on him, because we want to know how he's doing. So it's my favorite kid in the village. Yeah.
They're waiting for the doctor at the infirmary. With her portable ultrasound device, Rosanne can monitor the pregnancies of the future mothers here in the heart of the Amazon.
Oh, okay.
You love your baby already, right?
Hoofd van je baby. Dat hele ding is.
Well, I'm going to show it to you and measure it.
Dat kan je opmeten.
You wanted a boy?
Dan ga ik het meten hoe groot het is. Jongetje.
You see those 3 lines on the screen? If it's a boy, there'll usually be 2 little balls and 1 line.
1, 2, 3 streepjes. Bij een jongetje zie je een piemeltje met ballen, toch? We've just figured out that it's a girl. And now I'm looking for amniotic fluid. But I don't see much. It's not enough. She needs to go to the city. Because she doesn't have a big belly,
Maar ik had meer jongens.
Oh, omdat je zo overtuigd was van haar.
This young woman risks having problems in her late pregnancy. Rosanne has to persuade the parents that it would be better to go to the city for the last few weeks before the birth.
Als de gelegenheid er is, mag je mee. Sometimes they don't go because they don't have a place to stay in the city. They don't have funding. They prefer staying with their families. So sometimes in these areas we have very difficult labors because of the people we advise to go to the city, just stay here. And we understand that they stay here, but for us, it's better if they go to the city. So she knows, and she's going to talk with her family about it.
Rosanne won't be back for a month. The only way this future mother can give birth in the city is with the doctor's plane. When the river is at its lowest, it takes weeks by pirogue to go from this village to the capital. For Rosanne and Andy, her pilot, the job means endless takeoffs and landings. also Dutch, gave up his real estate job in Europe to become a pilot for MAF, a Dutch association that uses its fleet of planes to help isolated communities the world over.
So serving together with medische zending, it's just a benefit for both, because we do the flying, they do the medical stuff, you know. And so each of us are doing his job, and we both serve the people of Suriname for many, many years already. I think it's more than 50 years. Well, sometimes we talk, sometimes I sleep, sometimes I think about my life, my future. This is a very good place to do some, to overthink your life and the future ahead of you and the things you want to achieve. But also what happened in a day, what kind of patients did you see, did you make the right decisions, do you have to follow them up, or everything passes by.
3/4 of this little country's population lives in Paramaribo, the capital. This is where the headquarters of Medische Zending, Rosanne's medical mission, is located.
Take this as, this is my ultrasound, and this is just material. Deze moet ook mee. Material for the polyclinic, for the patients, some medication, some equipment, and vaccine.
Every time they set out, it's an expedition. The doctor's plane is not just a medical liaison. It's a veritable lifeline between the capital and the villages inland.
So today's trip is going from Paramaribo to Kawamhaka, and then we stayed at Palimeu, and we went to Tepu the next day and back.
The village of Kawamaka is an hour and a half from the capital in the region of Upper Maroni. This community of Wayana Indians lives in the region where Suriname meets French Guiana. This is where the borders start to become uncertain. No one ever comes here, apart from the illegal prospectors of the Wildcat gold mines. Since the 1970s, Medische Zending has been training a practical nurse in each Amerindian village to dispense primary health care while waiting for the doctor to arrive, and also to make sure the patients follow up on their treatment.
Hi, Meep.
Meep, the village chief, is also Kawamaka's practical nurse.
Some of the patients I see all year, so I see them coming and going and coming and going. So when they come back, we can chat. But sometimes it's very busy, and we don't have the time to really have this relationship, building of the relationship. But some of the people, they're chronic patients, so I see them a lot.
As the practical nurse, Meep attends all Rosanne's consultations. Like all village chiefs, his words are respected and heeded.
Dit meteen op nu. He's a very important person for this village and for the area, and he's a very good nurse, so he's my support. in bad times. He can call me all the time. He calls me sometimes for accidents or other things happening, and yeah, he knows what he's doing. So that's good. You schrijf ja, one lazy.
So I'm prescribing 1 pill per week, okay?
Per week. Hey, lachen.
Oh, yes, you like to laugh, you.
Roseanne has a 2-year-old son and is expecting her second child. This has changed her status in the eyes of the Indian women.
Je ziet geen slijm en je hoort geen slijm. Is hij benauwd? I'm 5 months pregnant, and well, now sometimes they see, sometimes they don't, but they like it very much because it makes me more a woman than a doctor. So they think I'm more one of them than because I'm also pregnant and not the doctor who visits and goes back to the city. So yeah. This work gives me great pleasure and great energy, and so I keep active as long as I keep active. I hope. Clary, zeker. Lawa. The first time I came here, they were very shy, because it's very shy people, very introvert people. But as they see you come back and back and back, and they return, and they see that you take interest in their culture, in their families, in their health, then they open up a bit, and you can talk more about life and family.
Roseanne has just received an emergency call. She has to cut short her consultations to go help a young woman who's having problems in labor. It will be a 40-minute flight.
So now we have an ambulance waiting for the doctor. If she is ready with the patients right now, we can go.
Well, we have 2 very sick patients in different places, different areas in Suriname. So we're leaving here now and going to fetch them. And there's an ambulance waiting in Paramaribo to get them to the hospital.
Clear!
It's a life-and-death situation, and Roseanne is in a race against time. She doesn't know anything about the mother or baby's condition. When they land, the village practical nurse fills her in. It seems that the baby is out of danger, but not the young mother.
What baby?
Every year, they carry out 200 medical evacuations through the skies over the world's largest forest.
Dag zuster. Diakones.
Don't worry. You'll come back. You may need an operation, you know. Then you'll be able to come back. You'll have to be brave, okay?
Okay? Okay.
You want some water?
Okay.
It's time to go.
Okay,
If she wants to lie down, she can go over to the other side.
I I think when you decide to become a doctor, you also want to help people. And in some countries, it's just your help is very useful. It's more useful than maybe in Holland. So that's why, and I think now we're here in the middle of the Amazons. They really appreciate my help. Here, the people just live day by day. They take life as it comes, and they cherish it. And for me, it's a very valuable lesson that you should always, appreciate your day as it comes. I can contribute more than maybe I could staying in Holland.
Monique Poole is a heroine in her country because she is a defender of the Amazon's emblematic animal, the sloth.
I think we humans are doing a lot of damage to nature, and I think this is the best thing we can do. We have to help these animals back into the wild where they can live. So I'm really glad to be sort of a taxi driver for wildlife. They are a symbol for me of the vulnerability of nature and of how important it is for us to protect nature and the animals in it.
This animal always seems to be smiling, and it has a charming, peaceful nature. Its incredibly slow pace is due to its diet. The sloth spends all its time digesting its food. Out in her yard, Monique is caring for a dozen sloths picked up from the center of Paramaribo. Then she releases them into their natural habitat. Thanks to her actions, she was shortlisted for CNN Hero of the Year.
We started 10 years ago when I lost a dog, and I went looking for my dog, and then I found a baby sloth, and that's how I then became involved in learning what was happening to them, why were they in trouble. So when there is a problem, all the other animals can fly away or run away, but they cannot. So they will stay in the tree until it gets pushed over.
Monique's yard is a little Noah's Ark, a haven for the more fragile creatures of the forest. She also shelters porcupines, anteaters, plus one giant anteater, vulnerable endangered species from Central and South America. Monique Poole's nickname is the Sloth Lady. Over the past 10 years, she has saved hundreds of animals. Little by little, a team of volunteers formed around her, and they created a foundation, Green Heritage Fund Suriname. She may not be a biologist, but she has become one of the world's foremost experts on sloths.
We don't know enough about the populations. Only recently we found that this species that we have in Suriname, the three-toed sloth, is only limited to the Guyanas, to Brazil and Venezuela. Before we thought it had a much larger range. And so we don't really know all that much. Here at the coast, we see a lot of animals. So we even don't know really what the distribution is. So that's why we're trying to do research on where they are, what they do, and we work together with all researchers in the area here.
4 years ago, Monique carried out her most memorable rescue. She had been alerted that about 10 animals were in the woods close to the city. But nothing went as planned. Monique filmed the whole sequence.
This was in 2012, and we rescued a lot of animals from a very small piece of land, only 7 hectares, and there were really a lot of animals, a lot of sloths, but almost 200 animals in 7 hectares of land in the city. The operator was very nice because he was really looking for the trees not to fall down, but push them onto other trees so that the animals wouldn't be hurt. 2 we found later were dead, but then most of them were just completely unharmed. Maybe scared, but that was it.
Monique also has another passion. About 40 kilometers up from the open sea, the estuary of the Suriname River is home to a rare endemic marine mammal.
This morning I have a special meeting with nature and with the dolphins. They are right there.
The Guyana dolphin is very difficult to observe. Twice a month at dawn, Monique does a nose count of this little sedentary school of dolphins.
For 10 years we have been following the dolphins and trying to see where they live, what they do during the day, and see what they eat, what affects them. They come, they look at you, then they go and do their business, they go and swim, and then sometimes they come, if they're very happy or want to show off a new baby, then the baby comes and shows itself. It's very special. This is, I think, in the whole of South America, a unique river for this type of dolphin.
Monique passes on her observations to French scientists studying the Guyana dolphins. They recognize the value of her work, even though she is not a scientist.
Actually, since I was a little child, I always loved nature. I wanted to become a biologist, but then I studied something else. I studied languages. So this is like still my passion from being a child. Now, to still be close to nature and be able to do something for nature, it's really fantastic.
SOS Sloths in Danger. Every week, Monique gets dozens of calls to pick up stray animals in the city, in yards or houses, all settings where the sloths can't survive.
It's an emergency and the people are worried about it, either maybe because they have dogs, maybe they have small children, and so they are maybe afraid. We will find out when we get there. Yeah, be really careful though. Yeah, okay, yes, this one. Go on. Okay. Wait, this is... Yes, yeah, but get it close. Okay, close, okay. Yeah. This one. So we were able to catch him after we agreed on how we would be doing it. So because I know how they behave, so we were able to do it much faster than before. Before I didn't really know, and now I know. So then it's easy to get them into the cage.
This is a two-toed sloth, the biggest and feistiest when threatened. They're very likable animals. That's surely why Monique's work is so popular in this land of sloths.
Maar nu is het uiteindelijk gelukt. Ja, en dank u wel voor jullie. Ja. Hey, we gaan je loslaten, hè? Een beetje rustig aan.
Today, Monique is going to set free the very healthy sloth they picked up in town.
Ik denk dat we nog een heel stuk moeten lopen. These animals do not belong in the city. We are encroaching on their habitat. So there's a human-animal conflict there. And the best thing we can do for them is to bring them to a forest of which we know that it's not going to be cut and where they can live for many, many years. So every animal we get, if it's healthy, it will go back to the forest like this. She is. She knows. She's like, okay, open it, open it. Huh? He's looking around to see what is his new home. So it's really looking where's food, where is a good place to sleep, and where can I stay safe. Well, this is his new home. He comes from the city, so now he's back in the trees where he will be happy. This is the most amazing moment of every rescue because this is where they belong. And so within a few minutes, you're not able to see them, but you know they're there. You know, these little friends I have, that they are there, they're watching me. And it's just a fantastic idea. This is where they belong. You can see their whole face is changing, their energy. They love. This is their home. So this is the best moment. The best moment of every animal that we get is when we can let it go back to the forest. Yeah.
Monique has managed to buy a small parcel of Amazonian forest thanks to the Green Heritage Fund. She's planning to build a large refuge for sloths here in a few months when she has collected enough money in order to ease their return to the wild.
What makes me want to protect this is because first of all, it's very beautiful. And I think we humans, we need beauty as well. And not just beauty from humans who make more beautiful things, but the beauty of nature. And so that's why we need to preserve it, to be healthy humans. We need to have forests like this that regenerate us and give us energy.
Monique came here to feel the pulse of the forest atop the Volksberg Dome. Someday, she'll write her story. The story of a woman in love with the sweetest and gentlest of animals, the Amazonian sloth.
You just feel at peace here, just complete at ease. This is where we belong, I think. This is the most beautiful place in the world, I think.